Show me.
Hello everybody, Martial Arts Film Freak here, and I'm tier ranking some more stuff, which really just means I didn't watch another movie. I've spent a lot of time editing the past few days, getting up that Matrix video, not the review, but the Matrix and American martial arts movies. That was a big effort on my part. Yeah, so I haven't watched much other than The Matrix, which I already have a review out for, and you should go watch that too. After this video, though. Or watch it and then come back, I don't care. But since I didn't watch anything, I don't have anything to review, I don't have anything to talk about, to discuss. I mean, why not just do some more tier ranking? Because that's just easy, you know, I just gotta take some pictures, make up some opinions, talk off the top of my brain. Let's tier rank some stuff. I'm going to tier rank just a bunch of martial arts movie directors. No modern, all time. Let's go all time. Whether they be Chinese, Japanese, Thai, American, indie, huge budget. I don't care. Let's talk martial arts movie directors and let's get to ranking. Alright, so today we've got a couple different changes to the tier names here. Just the top and the bottom. The rest will remain the same. The top, watch anything. If a director goes here, it means when you come across a movie made by that director, you watch it because you will watch anything that they make. The bottom, though, the worst, watch anything else. When you come across a movie made by one of these people, skip it, don't do it, just watch absolutely anything else. We're going to start off here on a bit of a positive, well, a huge positive, Sammo Hung. So I'm going to go through some IMDb's here, and also run through some filmographies, because that's just going to legitimize that someone really deserves to be where they are. So I'm looking at Sammo Hung as a director, going through his director filmography, not his acting. So Iron Fisted Monk, first one he ever directed. That's a good one. Warriors 2, great. Knockabout, good. What else we got? Encounters of the Spooky Kind, Prodigal Son. Immediately this dude's going in, watch anything. Winners and Sinners, Project A, Wheels on Meals, Jesus Christ, My Lucky Stars, Twinkle Twinkle Lucky Stars, Heart of Dragon, Millionaires Express. Look, I don't even need to read any further. Sammo Hung, we already knew this. We've all watched Sammo Hung directed movies. The dude's going and watch anything. Of course. Next up, Bruce Lee. Now, Bruce Lee really only directed one movie, and that is Way of the Dragon. It is also my favorite Bruce Lee movie. My computer interrupted me. Okay, saw Bruce Lee. He directed Way of the Dragon. Pretty sure it's his only movie he really directed, and it is my favorite Bruce Lee movie. He, I believe, directed the first, 20 minutes of, Game of Death. Yes. Of course, before he passed away, and that is some of my favorite Bruce Lee stuff. So he didn't really have a chance to direct too much. I believe that if he would have had more opportunities to direct more things, I'm going to turn up my volume here so I don't get interrupted again, he would have directed some really good stuff. So I'm going to put him in A, because what he did make, I love, and I wish he could have made more. Next up, we have Benny Chan. Now, Benny Chan is a huge director. Recently had the film Raging Fire, starring Nicholas Tse and Donnie Yen. Unfortunately, he also passed away before that film was released just this year. And he has directed some of my favorite kung fu films of the modern era. One of the first big ones he directed for a lot of people being Who Am I? New Police Story, incredible. Invisible Target, love it. What else we got? Shaolin. Shaolin is one of my very favorite kung fu movies of the. It is my number one kung fu movie of the last decade, and just for that, Benny Chan, miss you, buddy, is going and watch anything. Because when I come across a Benny Chan movie, I freaking watch it. Now, Jackie Chan is a weird one. Jackie Chan is one that I was like, you know what? He's definitely directed some amazing movies, but what if they're not? What if he hasn't actually directed a lot of amazing ones? He directed, I don't know. Let's just check this out, because I could be full of absolute crap there. Jackie Chan, go to director. Let's see. So he only directed 18. He didn't direct a whole lot. He directed a good handful, and then he got out of the director game. So he did Police Story, Project A, probably co-directed Project A with Sammo Hung, Dragon Lord, Young Master, Fearless Hyena, immediately some of the very best Jackie Chan movies out there. Project A 2, Armor of God, Police Story 2, Miracles, Operation... Jackie Chan did it. Jackie Chan directed almost the perfect bunch of movies up until you get to 1911 and Chinese Zodiac. But how are you going to go Fearless Hyena, Police Story, freaking just, oh my god, Police Story 2, Armor of God, Miracles, Operation Condor, Crime Story, Legend of Drunken Master. Jackie was one of the best kung fu directors, obviously. Now next up is Chang-Chi. Now I've got a weird beef with Chang-Chi. I'm not even going to go through the IMDb. Because there's a thing when you're a kung fu movie fan, you're either in the Lau Kar Lung group or you're in the Chang-Chi group. You can be in both, you know, whatever. Do whatever you want to do. But they have very different styles of kung fu movies. I lean far heavily into the Lau Kar Lung group. I'm not a big fan of a lot of Chang-Chi style films. However, the good ones, oh, they're good. They're really good. Any Venom movie is pretty much Chang-Chi. Let me do a double take here on my Chang-Chi films to make sure I'm not lying about how many movies I actually like from him, even though I don't like him. He directed movies all the way back to the 60s, so of course you get One-Armed Swordsman, which I find extremely boring. You get, what else we got here? That gets a whole lot of stuff I don't like. Heroic Ones, didn't like it. New One-Armed Swordsman, Oh, we're not going through a lot of really good ones. Boxer from Shantung, I hear, is amazing. I've never seen it. Oh, it's a lot of things I haven't seen, a lot of things I have seen and I don't like until we get to, okay, Heroes 2. Heroes 2. Amazing. Heroes 2 I didn't expect to love as much as I did. Heroes 2 became one of my very favorite kung fu movies of all time. It's so good. What else we got here? We've got Five Shaolin Masters. Great. We've got... Where's the Venoms coming in? We're in 1975 still. God, he directed so many movies. Shaw Brothers with your just constantly making movies all the time. Chinatown Kid has some good stuff in it. Five Deadly Venoms. Amazing. Crippled Avengers, a.k.a. Return of the Five Deadly Venoms. Amazing. That's just it. You know, Kid with the Golden Arm. Fan-frickin-tastic. Just, again, the movies that he made that I love. Heroes 2, Venom's films, Kid with the Golden Arm. The movies that Chang-Chi made that I like, I freaking love. The movies that I don't like, I really, really don't like. So for that, I'm going to put him in A. Because I'm not a Chang-Chi guy, but when he hits it out of the park, he hits it out of the freaking park. Corey Yuen is next up. Now, Corey Yuen is a weird one because recency bias, the negative side of that, is Corey Yuen. His final film was in 2006, and it was DOA, Dead or Alive. It's bad, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about everything else Corey Yuen did, because everything else Corey Yuen did is gold. He did Ninja in the Dragon's Den, No Retreat, No Surrender, Yes, Madam, Righting Wrongs, No Retreat, No Surrender 2, helped out, he co-directed Dragons Forever, frickin' Yes, She Shoots Straight, Savior of the Soul, just so much good stuff. Where is it? Legend of Fong Sayuk 2, Legend of Fong Sayuk 1, of course, The Defender, My Father is a Hero, just good stuff. Where is it? There's another one up here, I believe, The Transporter. He did The Transporter. That may be one of the best directing careers you could possibly have. Corey Yuen is watch anything. Now, Gordon Chan also did a bad video game movie in The King of Fighters, but again, we're going to ignore that because he did a good bunch of other things. He did a bunch of movies throughout the early 90s. He did King of Beggars. He did Fist of Legend, possibly the very best Jet Li film ever made, but then he also did The Medallion. So not great. For Fist of Legend alone, and King of Beggars, I think I'd put Gordon Chan in A. I mean, not everything's perfect. He doesn't only direct kung fu movies, but if you're... Oh, he also did The Four in 2012. I like The Four a lot. If you're going to go for a kung fu movie and you give us Fist of Legend, well, thank you, sir. Isaac Florentine, I don't even need to look at the IMDb for Isaac Florentine. Isaac Florentine is amazing. Isaac Florentine is responsible for the return, the resurgence of the martial arts B-movie. 2006, Undisputed 2, just amazing. He then directs Undisputed 3, he directs Ninja 2, Shadow of a Tear. These are some of the very best modern martial arts films that will go down as just absolute classics. And for that, Isaac Florentine is going and watch anything. Especially if he teams up with Scott Adkins, as he frequently does. This next person has directed two things, I believe. One is a movie I've never seen, and the other is The Quest, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Now, if you've seen The Quest, you know that it's Bloodsport or Kickboxer, but not as good as Bloodsport or Kickboxer. Not a big Van Damme fan. I definitely don't like The Quest. I'm going to put Jean-Claude Van Damme in C. First one to go down this low. I'm not sorry. I'm sure a lot of people like The Quest. Next up, though, is Jesse V. Johnson. Jesse V. Johnson, again, does not only direct martial arts films. The past few years, he did a really great handful of them, particularly with Scott Adkins. He did Savage Dog, Avengement, Accident Man, what are they called? Dang it. Debt Collectors. Debt Collector 1 and 2. These are all fantastic Scott Adkins martial arts films. Does he go and watch anything, or does he go in A? Because he doesn't only... You know what? The ones he's made have been fantastic. I'll put him in watch anything. Next up is Jet Li. Now, Jet Li won and done it. Jet Li won and done it. He did Born to Defense, the only film he ever directed. And you know what? I freaking love Born to Defense. It's the only one he did. It's amazing. It has some really good fight scenes. And for that, I'm willing to put him in A. Because he only did the one, but it's a good one. This next person I thought directed a whole lot more movies. Apparently not, though. I thought he had almost like a Chang Cheh career, where Chang Cheh directed 95 movies. Lau Kar-leung, not so much, though. He directed Spiritual Boxer, Executioners of Shaolin, 36 Chamber, Shaolin Mantis, Heroes of the Frickin' East, Mad Monkey Kung Fu, Dirty Ho, Return to the 36 Chamber, Martial Club, My Young Auntie, Legendary Weapons of China, Just 8 Goddamn Diagram Pole Fighter, Martial Arts of Shaolin, Tiger on Beat 2. Just, oh my, wait. It's Lau Kar-leung. It's my guy. It's, again, the two camps. I'm in his. I'm camping with the dude. We're going with watch anything for Lau Kar-leung. I mean, if you don't like Lau Kar-leung movies, I don't understand how you like kung fu, how you like kung fu movies. It baffles me so much I can't talk straight. This next person is Gareth Evans, who again is sort of stepping out of just martial arts movies, but pretty much made his name on martial arts movies. Gareth Evans started with Iko Uwais and Marantau. Not only started with Iko Uwais, helped create what we now know as Iko Uwais. Took dudes he met making a documentary on the martial arts of Silat. He met Yayan Ruyan, he met Chechep Rahman, he met Iko Uwais. And he took these guys and he was like, I'm going to make a martial arts movie with you guys. I grew up loving martial arts movies. Now I'm hanging out with all these dope martial artists doing a form of martial arts that no one even freaking knows about. We're about to teach the world what Pencak Silat is, and we're going to make some dang good movies. They did Marantau. They did The Raid. They did The Raid 2. Good freaking stuff. He's also now doing Gangs of London as well, which has some really good fight scenes in it. Gareth Evans, thank you for your service, sir, or going in watch anything. Next up, this is a weird one, okay? Now, Donnie Yen has directed maybe 4 things. One of them that I am most knowledgeable about, and I'll go to his IMDb here also to make sure of the other things, is Legend of the Wolf. Now, there are a good handful of people who Legend of the Wolf may be their favorite kung fu movie. They say Legend of the Wolf is freaking amazing, dopeness, great. I'm not one of those people. I do not like Legend of the Wolf. It baffles me how someone who has been involved in some of the greatest martial arts films ever made one of such poor quality. So he directed 5 things: Legend of the Wolf, Asian Cop High Voltage, Ballistic Kiss, Shanghai Affairs, and something called Protégé de la Rose Noire. I have not seen Shanghai Affairs. I've only seen Legend of the Wolf. And it's bad. There's a fight scene where, a dude, hangs essentially out of a tree, and, they're, exchanging while one of them's standing upright and one of them's hanging, and people think that's, amazing dopeness, great, awesome, yes, freaking love it. And I'm like, there's nothing to see because it's just so cutty and shaky, and the camera's everywhere, and I'm like, it's not good. How is this movie? People look at this movie and they're like, it's freaking great, love Legend of the Wolf. It's not good. It's bad. Donnie, I hate to say it. I love you. I love your movies. I love your acting. I love your fight scenes. I love everything you do except directing. But if I come across a movie and it's directed by Donnie Yen, I will watch anything else. I love you so much. Thank you. Panna Ritchie. Panna Ritchie may be possibly one of the most underappreciated martial artists in film history, unless you're actually one of the diehard martial arts fans, I guess. Really started in 1986 with the 1986 version of Born to Fight. This was essentially Ong Bak before Ong Bak. He's an uncredited director on that, but however, he is so influential in Thai martial arts cinema that he had to be involved in it. So, Born to Fight, if you haven't seen the Thai film, 1986 version of Born to Fight, look it up. It's this crazy, amazing martial arts classic. Ong Bak before Ong Bak. Truly incredible. He also directed several films throughout the 80s and 90s that I have never seen. Admittedly, I don't think a lot of people have. They are a little bit harder to get your hands on. He directed the Bodyguard films, which are comedies. He directed the remake of action comedies. They're very good. He directed the remake of Born to Fight, starring Dan Chu Pong. That is also very, very good. He co-directed with Tony Jaa Ong Bak 2 and Ong Bak 3. Ong Bak 2 being one of the greatest Thai martial arts films of all time, and Ong Bak 3 not being so good. He also directed BKO Bangkok Knockout, a movie that is not great. However, the fight scenes are stunning. He also, I don't know how much he finished before he passed away. He passed away in 2014. He also directed Vengeance of an Assassin. Again, I don't know how much he was involved in the directing of that. I don't love it. There's some good stuff in there, but it's not great. I think I'd put Panna in A. I love his work. He is fantastic. I loved his on-screen stuff in Born to Fight in '86. Just an absolute gem that more people should appreciate. Now, most people probably think that Panna did direct Ong Bak, however, he did not. This person did, and that is Prachya Pinkyo? I don't know how to pronounce your name. It's spelled weird, because it's Thai. He directed a good handful of movies, however, the 2, 3, 4 to really focus on here would be, starting off, 2003, Ong Bak. Now, first of all, if you direct Ong Bak, you're immediately like, you're freaking amazing. It's one of the most influential martial arts films of all time. Follow that up with The Protector, 2005, Tony Jaa again. 2 right off the bat that it's like, dude, stop right now, you're at legendary status. He then did Chocolate with Jijia Yanin. Very, very good, excellent martial arts film. I kind of prefer Raging Phoenix to Chocolate. However, Chocolate is fantastic. He also did The Kick, which stars a few people and Jijia Yanin. I don't love it. There's a lot of really, really good stuff in it, but it's not my favorite. However, he also did The Protector 2. Now, I don't know who is in charge of, who's responsible for The Protector 2 being as bad as it is, in my opinion. But somebody needs to be punished. I love Prachya Pinkyo. I wish I knew how to pronounce his name. Just for Protector 2, he's going in A. If Protector 2 wasn't there, he would be in Watch Anything. Now, next up is maybe possibly the weirdest director I've got on this list. This is Ronnie Yu. Ronnie Yu does not have a vast filmography of martial arts films. In fact, there's maybe 3. But if you look at his filmography, you'd think, what is happening with this guy's career? Because he directs a whole lot of stuff throughout the 90s that I've never seen. He does The White-Haired Witch, which is cool. Bride with the White Hair. He directs in 1998, which I didn't know this movie came out in 98, because I saw it on like Sci-Fi Channel in like 2003, so I always thought it was like 2003, 2004 movie, I don't know. Bride of Chucky. He directs Bride of Chucky. And you're thinking, the guy who directed Bride of Chucky made a martial arts movie? What possible martial arts movie could the guy who made Bride of Chucky possibly directed? Well, wait, folks! He also directed a movie called Formula 51, which I think this stars like Ice Cube or something. Nope, that's Samuel L. Jackson and Robert Carlyle and Emily. Yep. So he directed a Samuel L. Jackson movie. He did Bride of Chucky. He did Freddy vs. Jason in 2003. So, still no really big martial arts movie. Bride of Chucky, Formula 51, Freddy vs. Jason. What possible martial arts movie could the guy who made Freddy vs. Jason have possibly directed? Well, folks, it is possibly one of the very greatest Jet Li films of all time. The fifth, the final essential Jet Li film, if you've seen my Jet Li Essential Films video. He directed frickin' Fearless. A stunning, glorious, beautiful martial arts kung fu film. One of the very best of all time. What the absolute hell. He also directed Saving General Yang, which is fine. But for Fearless, the dude's going in A, because that's just a weird career. Freaking Bride of Chucky, followed by Formula 51, followed by Freddy vs. Jason, followed by one of the greatest kung fu films ever made in Fearless. What an odd career. This next person directed The Raid. We've already covered Gareth Evans, so it's not that Raid. It's a Raid from 1991 that I've never seen. Tsui Hark directed a lot of things throughout the 90s and 80s that I have not really seen. He did do Once Upon a Time in China. He did several of these films. He did Once Upon a Time in China, Once Upon a Time in China 2. He did 3, and then he did 5. Those are amazing films. They are gorgeous looking. I think his use of camera, cinematography, background staging, he's a master. He is a master filmmaker in my opinion. He also did Twin Dragons with Jackie Chan, The Master, Dragon Inn, some very, very, very good films. There's another one I feel like up here. Oh yes, he did some Jean-Claude Van Damme movies for a while. He did Double Team and Knock Off. So those are some weird ones, but they're pretty fun. He did Black Mask 2, which we should maybe ignore because that is just a dumpster fire. He also did Seven Swords with Donnie Yen, Lau Kar-leung's final acting performance before he passed away. A lot of people do love that movie. I am not a big fan, but I get it. I really do. I understand it. There's a lot to like about it. It's just not all for me. And he more recently has done a lot of Detective D films. He is a very entertaining director. Very fun. He's like I said, master filmmaker. Even though not all of his stuff has been for me, I think I'm willing to put him in Watch Anything because those Once Upon a Time in China films are just stunning. This next person is someone who I have not seen a vast majority of their filmography because they were around in the 50s and the 60s, and then I don't see a single one of their films up until the early 70s, and that is because they teamed up with Bruce Lee for The Big Boss. Now, my thing with this director, I am not a big Wei Lo fan. I don't like his style. I don't like what he was all about in terms of his filmmaking. It's just my opinion. But he did several Jackie Chan and several Bruce Lee films. He did The Big Boss. He did Fist of Fury. And then Bruce Lee began to direct his own films. And then later on with Jackie Chan, he does several other martial arts movies. But then with Jackie Chan, he does New Fist of Fury, Killer Meteors, To Kill with Intrigue. These are all just bad movies. Magnificent Bodyguard, I'm not a fan. A lot of people possibly could enjoy Spiritual Kung Fu. I hated it. Dragon Fist, which some people may enjoy. I have it up here on Blu-ray, the 88 Films version release. I have not watched it yet. The thing is, he did direct 2 good Bruce Lee movies. And he directed some Jackie Chan movies that some people may say are good. I'm not a fan of. I did not like them at all. He directed Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan movies. However, Bruce Lee would then go on to direct a better Bruce Lee movie than Wei Lo could have possibly directed. And then Jackie Chan clearly went on to direct several Jackie Chan movies that are way better than anything Wei Lo could have possibly directed. Are the movies he made with Bruce Lee good? Very much so. The movies he made with Jackie Chan good? To some people, yes. In my opinion, absolutely fucking not. Does that land him in B or A for something like that? Again, he's got a whole massive filmography that I have never seen outside of those 2 actors. For me, he's probably going to go in B. Because The Big Boss is one of my possibly least favorite Bruce Lee films. Fist of Fury does have some brilliant stuff in it. And then Bruce Lee would direct Way of the Dragon, and it's the best Bruce Lee film ever. And then he directed a bunch of bad Jackie Chan movies, so yeah, he's going in B. Our next person directed several era-defining modern staples, modern classics. That is Wilson Yip. Now, Wilson Yip directs a good handful of things throughout the 90s that I haven't really seen. However, in 2000 and I believe 5, he does it, man. He teams up with Donnie Yen and they do Killzone. He then teams up with Sean Yu, Nicholas Say, and Donnie Yen again for Dragon Tiger Gate. He does 2007's Flashpoint with Donnie Yen. He does 2008, the era-defining kung fu film, Ip Man. He does Ip Man 2. He does Ip Man 3. He does Paradox. He does Ip Man 4. He does a whole lot of other movies, in between that era, but that's a run, man. That's a good run. He's going in Watch Anything. I'm going to zoom this out just a little bit here so that I can see everybody. Next up is the person who I have said in previous videos was supposed to be the next guy, was supposed to be the next absolute icon of Kung Fu cinema. Sadly has not done that. However, he's directed quite, 4 movies. Let's just talk about him. The first one he directed was his follow-up to Fatal Contact, which he starred in, which Fatal Contact is just an incredible martial arts film. Legendary Assassin. A lot of people I've heard don't like Legendary Assassin. I get that it's not as good as Fatal Contact, but I, for the most part, really enjoyed it. He then directed Wolf Warrior. Now, Wolf Warrior is the film that I have stated is just one of the biggest disappointments for me in martial arts cinema. You took Scott Adkins, the modern martial arts B-movie king, and you paired him up against Jackie Wu Jing. That should be an amazing clash, and then they don't clash. What are you doing? He also does Wolf Warrior 2, which is an improvement on the first. It's not great, but I did enjoy it quite a bit. He's also directed a film called My Country, My Parents. I haven't seen it, and I probably don't care to. Wu Jing, Wolf Warrior is just so bad, and then the other two are just kind of like good, but not great. God, Wolf Warrior is so bad. BC. God, do 2 halfway decent good movies make up for something as bad as Wolf Warrior? No. He's going in C. Do I apologize? No. Now, the next person we've got is Yimou Zhang. Now, he does not direct only Kung Fu movies. However, when he does dip into the Kung Fu movie pond, he makes classics. He directs a whole lot of movies, of different genres. But in 2002, he gives us Hero. Now, Hero is just a gorgeous, beautiful, artistic expression of Kung Fu cinema that is just phenomenal. It's one of the most beautiful Kung Fu films ever made. Hero is fantastic. He follows it up with House of Flying Daggers, very similar to Hero, absolutely wonderful. He then doesn't do too much in martial arts up until, I believe it was 2018, 2019. Let's ignore The Great Wall. 2018, he does Shadow, which again is just a beautiful, stunning... He's so good with his use of color in film. His use of black and whites in the movie Shadow, it's a fantastic Kung Fu film. He is going in Watch Anything. Again, he doesn't only do Kung Fu movies, but when he does a Kung Fu movie, oh, he makes a good Kung Fu movie. Our final entry, you see who it is. You know what's happening here. He's the GOAT. He's one of the very best to ever have done it. Yuen Wu frickin' Ping, someone who has worked with pretty much everyone there is to work with in Kung Fu cinema and made just the best movies of all time. Let's go to Yuen Wu Ping. I don't even need to frickin' go to his thing. We can just talk about how good Yuen Wu Ping is, but it'll help to just bring up his movies and bask in his greatness. Go to his directed. He only directed 31 movies, but they're amazing. Let's go all the way to the bottom here. First movie he ever directed, Jackie Chan, Snake and the Eagle's Shadow. Knocked it out of the park. Next movie he directed, Drunken Master with Jackie Chan. Knocked it out of the park. Next one, pretty good movie. Teams up with Sammo Hung in 79. Magnificent Butcher. Knocks it out of the frickin' park. Yuen Biao with Dreadnought in 1981. Knocked it out of the frickin' park. Let's go a couple other years. He makes some other pretty good martial arts movies. Where are we at here? 1988, Tiger Cage, good. In the Line of Duty 4, amazing. Tiger Cage 2, freaking incredible. Iron Monkey, one of the best Donnie Yen films. Tai Chi Master, Jet Li classic. Wing Chun, Michelle Yeoh and Donnie Yen, freaking wonderful. Where are we at here? Let's keep going a little bit. True Legend in 2010. He has a bit of a break from about 96 up to 2010. True Legend in 2010, a modern, wonderful film. Crouching Tiger 2, I mean, he probably got paid a lot of money for that one. Master Z, Ip Man Legacy, a great spin-off of a great series. Yuen Wu-Ping, I mean, of course, he's also choreographed and coordinated hundreds of films and done a wonderful job. He was the choreographer and coordinator for The Matrix, of course. It's Yuen Wu-Ping. It's the GOAT. I mean, you could probably make some arguments for like a Lau Kar-Leung there, or Jackie Chan's directing, or even Sammo's, but it's Yuen Wu frickin' Ping. You going and watch anything. Because if you come across a Yuen Wu-Ping movie, and you're a Kung Fu fan, and you don't want to watch a Yuen Wu-Ping film, why do you like Kung Fu movies? So this is it. This is what we've got here. I'll read it from the bottom to the top. Something drop. Watch anything else. If you come across a movie directed by this person, you turn it off and you watch anything else. Donnie, I love you, buddy. You're not a good director. Donnie Yen, you in the bottom. In C, just not very good. You got Jean-Claude Van Damme and Wu Jing. Sorry, Wu Jing. B, Wei Lo. Again, he directed a good, decent Bruce Lee movie, directed some Jackie Chan movies, but then those two went on to direct better versions of any movie he could have possibly made with them. In A, movies or directors that just didn't quite reach that like perfection, but still absolutely wonderful. You've got Bruce Lee, but I almost said Liu Kang. Bruce Lee, Chang Che, Gordon Chan. You've got Jet Li, Panaridicry, Prachya Pinkyo, Ronnie Yu. Watch anything. The directors that if they make it, you frickin' watch it, because they are the very best to be doing it. Sammo Hung, Benny Chan, Jackie Chan, Corey Yuen, Isaac Florentine, Jesse V. Johnson, Lau Kar-Leung, Gareth Evans, Sui Hark, Wilson Yip. We got Yimu Zhang, and we've got the best to have ever done it, Yuen Wu-Ping. What do you think of this list? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Tell me some other directors, because I should do a part 2 to this. There's a whole lot of other directors that deserve to be talked about, and I want to talk about them. Tell me the directors that I should do in the comment section down below. Tell me your thoughts on all this. What did I get wrong? Am I out of my freaking mind on Donnie Yen? Is Legend of the Wolf an absolutely amazing movie? I don't like it. I'm glad you do. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Head over to Facebook. There is the Martial Arts Film Freak Facebook page. Instagram, Martial Arts Film Freak. Tristan_Glover on the Twitter. And Martial Arts Film Freak on TikTok. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.